Hey everyone, Tuesday, February 10th, it's here. Do you know where your market portfolio is? Well, don't worry. If you don't know what your returns are and you're not happy about them, I'm going to give you a few ideas. Let me show you my screen. I'm going to go through a couple of slides and we're going to do the new pick that just came out an hour ago or less. We're going to do a trade signal reveal. Let's get right to it. This comes from Edgefinder. It is by IWC. Put a stop loss $3.26 lower from wherever you get in. Get in an entry price of 181.08 or less, and then set your take profit target at $8.97 higher from wherever you get in. If in fact you get in at 181.08 exactly, your take profit would be 190.05 cents. If you get in lower than 181.08, then your take profit target's going to be a little lower than that. So you get the idea of how it works, right? This is really kind of a bold pick, I think. This is Edgefinder coming along and saying historically, when times like this show up, now is a good time to buy IWC. Now, here's why it's so bold to me. This is an ETF. Do you know what ETF it is? It's the Russell Microcap Index. Okay, so you've heard of large caps and small caps, right? These are companies that have, well, the large caps, Apple, Microsoft, Google, that stuff. The small caps are the names that maybe you've heard of, maybe you haven't. They might be a kind of large company or they might be a tiny company, but their value, if you take the number of shares they have outstanding times the price of whatever it is, that's the market capitalization. And if that number is less than $2 billion, then it's considered a small cap stock. But if that number is less than 300 million, then they call that a micro cap stock. Micro cap stocks are usually low priced. But as a group, microcap stocks have been doing well. While the rest of the market's trying to make up its mind whether or not it's okay to go up any higher, IWC has just trended in the right direction. So Edgefinder is coming along saying it's likely to keep trending higher. I'm going to tell you, if in fact people want to put money into microcap stocks right now, then they're looking for good returns. And once the doldrums of the larger cap stocks get over with, they'll probably start heading up too. So this is kind of a bullish signal for the whole market. But for right now, it's just a great trade. Now, these trade signals, they come from deep machine learning algorithms called genetic algorithms. You can look it up on Google or on YouTube for a 6-minute explanation of what genetic algorithms are. Needless to say that my partner and I, we got together and turned 20 plus years of data using genetic algorithms into trading solutions that come up with a statistical edge. No, they don't always go right, but they go right more than random. So look at this one. IWC, if we put just a $3 stop loss and an almost $9 stop loss or target up above it, well, randomness suggests that you should win that trade only 1 out of 4 times, like 25% of the time. And yet, historically, this trade wins a lot more, and I'll show you that in a minute. Now, last Thursday, I was on here and I gave this signal, KMB, right? KMB, Kimberly Clark. That's right, Huggies diapers. I thought it was being a little funny by saying, diaper jokes last Thursday because the market was kind of, losing its stuff, right? Then comes the Will Shat Raisin Bran commercial on the Super Bowl. I mean, are you kidding me? I thought I made goofball poop jokes, but how far Captain Kirk has fallen. Anyway, Here's what happened. I put this trade out there, and Edgefinder said there was a 67% probability of winning. Now, the setup probably gave it about a 58 to 60% chance of winning just through random price action. But historically, there was a larger edge, about 8% edge over and above. And that's what happened. That's what won out. Just today, that trade signal closed. So if you took that trade from my idea that I gave you, you're welcome, because that thing made you money. The idea was to get into Kimberly-Clark at 104.26 or lower and go for a $1.65 profit target. Well, what happened is that the market opened just right at 104. So you could have got in even lower than the 104.26. And then it went all the way up to almost 107. But notice where it came down to. It came down just below the 105.88 profit target that we had set. So in other words, if you took your profits where it said to take it, you got a few more pennies than the stock was willing to give you just by holding on. Now, who knows what it'll do tomorrow, go up or whatever. But just in 2 days, it ran up, hit the target, came right back. That's kind of the effect of the deep machine learning algo that Edgefinder produces. It's pretty cool when it works out like this. So now let's look at IWC a little closer. I want to show you kind of behind the curtain what the statistics of the system show. So this thing goes through and it tries to build rules that would be excellent to follow if you were to trade them over and over again, and rules that statistically actually end up having an edge when you make a trade like this, right? So how do I know what the statistics are? Well, that's just it. Edgefinder shows you all of these things. I want to show you the statistics on this particular solution right here. This is the IWC solution, and it has 20 plus years of back tested data. Well, actually 18 years, because it only starts at 2005. And that's sort of a, just heat map of all of the trades and their outcomes. And this is out of sample. Now, the difference is in samples like back testing. Out of sample is forward testing. What I mean by that is you go and you look at all the back data you got and say, come up with the rules that sort of optimize for this period. But make them really good rules so that even if we go forward, they should still work. And so then this is 2 years. This goes up to 2023. This goes from 2023 right up until recent time. And so we look at this and we say, well, how did it do when we weren't optimizing for the signals? When we were just saying, if we had started 2 years ago and gone forward, then how would it have worked out? And the answer is even better than the 20 years of back test. So it's fun that Edgefinder gives you both a back test and a forward test like this. And here's the statistics from it. If you notice, it shows right here that the win rate is 44.75%. See, that's the back test. But then in the next 2 years going forward, which weren't part of the data that it was trying to build its rules from, what is the win rate? Even better, 47%. Now you say, well, 47%, that's less than 50. Who wants that? Yeah, but look at this. The average return, average risk to reward ratio is 1.85. You see what that means? That means 47% of the time you're winning, but when you win almost double size compared to what you risk. Right? I keep telling this joke. Drunk guy walks into a bar, you're sitting there, he asks you, you want to play a game? I got lots of money and you look bored. Okay, what's the game? We're going to flip a coin. You call it heads or tails. It's all fair. If you call it right, you get $1.85. If you call it wrong, you pay me $1. That's it. That's the game. Really? I win $1.85 when I win? Like, how much money you got on you, mister? And you got somebody around here that's going to cart me something. If you're just, yeah, let's play, right? That's what the market is doing to you with this signal, right? Well, the only question is, can you be patient enough? Because, you know, not going to win every one of them, but if you win 40% of the time, and when you win a buck 85 compared to when you lose, and you lose is just $1, right? That's a great system. That's a system you want to trade over and over again. But this setup's even better than what it looks like, because this is not trying to give you a buck 85. This is, you're going to risk $3.26 and you're going to make 8.97 if you win. Even if all you had was an 11% edge and you still won this trade, you'd be winning about 37% of the time, but you win almost triple size winner, right? That's a good trade systemically. A lot of people, I want to win all the time. That's great. I'll show you one of those next time. Easy to win, but you win a small amount. And if you happen to lose, you lose a larger amount. This one's great because if you lose, you don't lose so much. And if you keep trading, when you win big. Okay, so that's that kind of setup. Now, it's fun because, well, Kimberly Clark, it went just even better than expected. And if I look at going further back here, we have Apple. Let's see, where's Apple? I guess I don't have it here. Yeah, so a week ago I gave a signal on Apple, and it has not yet finished. It's still in the running. If it wins, I'll tweet it out. Now, I'm also doing something else here, and that is 0 DTE options signals. These are in beta right now, but they look pretty good. Here's one where IWM was, hit a low point and it ran up and made its target by the end of the day. Here's one on QQQ, similar. These signals are really, really interesting. And as I say, I'm working through them in beta, but if you're interested for when these might be released on a regular basis officially, then sign up, connect up with me on X or on LinkedIn. I'm Gordon Scott CMT. You can find my account and just drop me a comment or shoot me a DM and let me know. I'll put you on the list, and when they come out, I'll make those available to you. Until then, you can always check out myedgefinder.com and see and learn more about Edgefinder. But for right now, I want to go check out the IWM or IWC trade with you and show you what this setup is. Here's the setup. Look at this chart in general. See how that's the microcap index. It's going up and up and up. Has it sort of tapered off, hit its head on the ceiling? No. If I were looking at the same time frame in QQQ, how would it look? See, it's kind of bumped its head on the ceiling. It's just sort of moving along, moseying along there, trying to make up its mind. Am I going to go up or am I going to go down? IWC says, this is the way. I'm Mr. Mandalorian. This is the way. We're going up. That's where we're going. Right? So anyway, it's really interesting. Edgefinder comes along and says, oh yeah, it's still going. Look at that volume. Look at the volume since the beginning of the year. You see that compared to what it's been trading recently, this past year? Now all of a sudden, heavy volume. For whatever reason, people want to trade micro cap stocks right now. And so it's a really interesting idea, really good idea. Let me show you the trade then that we're talking about. These are, I'm going to go ahead and just set this right up. Just what the trade signal is. Let me see if I can, yeah, there it is. 181.08 and 326 down, 897 up. 181.08, 376 down, 897 up. Okay, That's what the trade looks like. Look how easy this is to do. As long as the trade is below this price level, okay, that didn't actually come out like I was expecting it to. See, the entry price is 181 or 161? That was 181. That seems really easy. Yeah, 181.08. And then that target up there is $8 higher. There we go. And the stop is only 320 lower. So this is saying anywhere below this level, use this to get in. Well, I'll tell you what, IWC is not going to jump up that high tomorrow. It's probably going to open somewhere down here. So I'm just going to take that range and say wherever it opens, that's where we're jumping in, right around there. You know, something like down here or maybe there, depending on whether it opens higher or lower. You can put a tight stop loss on it. And look, if it gets all the way up here to that profit target, it's going to break through resistance. Good chance it's going to keep going even more. So I think this is a really bold pick. Now, full disclosure, it is set up so the win probability here is less than 50%. And this if it didn't have an edge, it would win only about 25% of the time. But it does have an edge, so this thing's going to win somewhere between 40 and, I mean, this thing has a probability of winning somewhere between 40 and 50%. Historically, trades like this have won 47% of the time. This is a trade with historically a statistical edge. Now, you never know which trade next is going to be the winner in a trading system like this. But if you make 10 of these trades and you're careful with your risk, you should come out on top. Okay, well, that's it for tonight. I will check back with you in a couple of days. We'll see whether the IWC trade has hit its profit target. I wouldn't expect it to hit it in just 2 days. This kind of a trade is probably going to take a week or more to play out, but I'll have a new trade idea for you on Thursday. Until then, everyone, take care. Trade well.